Hi everyone, myself Priyanka, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Christ College Autonomous Iranyalakuda. We are being into the theory of computation lectures. In my first lecture, I have introduced the first mathematical preliminary you needed in the theory of computation, that was sets. This lecture is a continuation to that topic. Here we are introducing the second concept or second preliminary we are needed in the theory of computation, that is the relations. If you have not seen my first video, please watch it because this is a continuation of the topic set, because relation is the concept that has been emerged in mathematics from the basic concept of set. You can say set concept can be considered as a superset and relation as the subset. In the intermediate we get the Cartesian product. So linking from the set to Cartesian product we have emerged the relations. So we can move into the topic. Before explaining what is the definition of relation, we can see a simple example. For example, you have already studied in max. I'm just revising it. Set A is equal, I am considering a set A that is equal to 1 comma 2. Next B is equal to 1 comma 4. So what will be the Cartesian product of it? A cross B is equal to first element from the first set, second element from the second set. Again, first element from the first set, second element from the second set. Again, first element from the first set, second element from the second set. Also, last one, first element from the first set, second element from the second set. This is the A cross B. You have already studied in the previous lecture. What do you mean by A cross B? I have already said from set we get the concept Cartesian product, and from the Cartesian product we get the concept relation. Then what do you mean by a relation? In relation, we are relating the elements of the Cartesian product. Once again, in relation, we take those elements from the Cartesian product which has a relation, the ordered pairs which has a relation. For example, I take the two elements 1 comma 1, first ordered pair. The second ordered pair I take 2 comma 4. These two elements, two ordered pair has a relation. What is the relation? 1 square is equal to 1, 2 square is equal to 4. So we can write it in the set builder form. R is equal to set ordered pair A comma B means A means the element of the set A, B means element of the set B. That is first element from set A, second element from the set B. Like that ordered pair we are taking, and it is related in a way that B is equal to A square. Okay. This is the relation. In relation, we take those ordered pairs from the A cross B in such a way that the ordered pairs inside that A and B must be related same. In likewise, you can have any ordered pairs. Once again, I will say, in relation, we take those elements from the A cross B. Those have a unique relation between them. For example, we can take any A comma B ordered pairs from the A cross B, but they must be satisfied in a such a way that B is equal to A square. For example, we can take 1 1 because A square is equal to what? 1. We cannot take here this element because 1 square is not equal to 4. We cannot take this element 2 comma 1 because 2 square is not equal to 1. We can take 2 comma 4 because 2 square is equal to 4. So by this you have get an idea that is in a relation we can take ordered pairs from A cross B in such a way that any number of ordered pairs from A cross B in such a way that they must have a unique relations between them. Between them means between A and B. Likewise, all the ordered pairs have same unique relations between A and B. Okay, that's about the relation. One more notation and theory of computation also in mathematics you have already studied that if A and B are related, we can write that related or in a relation we can write like this: A related to B, also A is in relation with B, also ordered pair A comma B is in a relation. Once again I will say A or B notation means that A and B are related uniquely, or we can say that A is in relation with B also. We can say that ordered pair A comma B is in my relation. Both three concepts are same. If A comma B is in my relation, that means A comma B are related. Okay, that's about what I am saying. That is about relation. We can see the definition about it. Okay, what does the definition say? That a relation R, you bypass this word. First of all, a relation R is a collection of ordered pair of set element in S. What do you mean by that? If I have a set S and from the set S, ordered pairs collection is the relation. That means if I am considering a set, that set's Cartesian product I am taking, and from that I am taking a collection of ordered pair what I want, that is called a relation. That is a subset of S crosses. What do you mean by self-crossing? That is, if I take A is equal to set 1 comma 2, I can also, you have already studied in your lower classes, A cross A means what? First element from the A and second element also from A. That is, we are crossing like that, like this. A is equal to set 1 comma 2. So what all elements will we have? So first element from the first set, first element from the second set, first element from the first set, second element from the second set, first element from the first set, second element from the second set, and also last one, first element from the first set, right? First element from the first set, second element from the second set. Okay, this is A cross A. So here it is saying if I am taking a set A and the relation will be the subset of what? A cross A. If I am taking two set, that is not a problem. But for definition, we are considering only one set. Also in TOC, when we move on to the later topic, we are considering only one set. In that set, to the set itself, we are cross producting. That means if I consider only one set and I am crossing Cartesian producting the same set itself, that means what? If I am taking set A, I am cross producting A cross A. From that I am building my relation. In max you might have been taken two set, but in theory of computation mainly application comes from the self cross producting. That means if I am taking a set, cross product that set itself and take the relation. Okay, I think you have get an idea. Already I have said if a ordered pair is in R, we can write it as XRY because I am taking the ordered pair x comma y, so I can write x r y. If x comma y is not in R, not means what? Complement, I can write x r complement y, because x comma y, that ordered pair is not in the relation. Okay, that's about relation main concept. Next we are moving to the properties of relation. It's also called types of relation. You can note out in your books, that is its properties of relation is mainly here we are discussing about the types of relation, heading properties or types of relation. Okay, now first one is reflexive. First type of relation is reflexive relation. For that I am taking set 1 comma 2 3. Okay, and I am not writing the cross product again, because you have already, I have said to you that I am self cross producting, that is I am taking A cross A, I am writing only the relation. In the relation I take the set ordered pair 1 comma 1 I am taking, then I am taking 2 comma 2 I am taking, then I am taking 2 comma 1 I am taking. Okay, if you want to write to be clear the whether these elements is in the Cartesian product, you write, you better you write it and check it. I am not writing across A, I am directly writing the relation. If you want, you can check it. My relation consists of 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 1. Okay, now what do you mean by reflexive relation? Reflexive relation is a relation if x is an element of set A. Set A means the superset or super concept of the relation, that is A. If x is an element of A, then x must also be in R. Then it is called a reflexive. For example, if 1 is in set A, don't look into the relation, look into the basic set, that is the A. Again I am saying, don't look into your relation, look into your set, that is if 1 is in A, then 1 must also be in R. If 2 is in A, 2 must also be in R. If 3 is in A, 3 must also be in R. If this condition is satisfied, then it is called a reflexive relation. Okay, so can you tell this is a reflexive relation? Obviously no, because 3 is not here in, sorry, 3 is not present here. So if I write 3 here, this is a reflexive relation. Okay, okay, that is called reflexive relation. If x is an element of A, then x must be in R. That is, every element of set A must be reflexive. Reflexive means what? If x, then reflexive means same image. Reflection means same image must be in R. That is, if A is 1, then B must also be 1. In that type, your relation must contain every element of set A. If you are taking set A, set A. If you are taking set S, set S. Okay. Once again, I will say a relation to be reflexive. A relation to be reflexive. If you are considering set S, then every element of set S must be present in your relation in a manner. What manner? X manner. That is, every element X of set S must be present in XX manner in your relation. Okay, that is about reflexive relation. Next one is symmetric relation. Symmetricity means what? Symmetricity means what? Symmetricity means opposite and pre-opposite. That is, symmetric means what? Correct partitioning. half partitioning, that is called what? Symmetricity. For example, if I have written 2 1 here, no? So symmetric relation says that if 2 1 is in your relation, then 1 2 must also be in your relation. That is, if 2 1 is there, if it is present only check it, otherwise not check it. That is, if 2 1 is here, then 1 2 must also be, sorry, 1 2 must also be present here. If 2 1 is not here, then 1 2 must not be checked. So symmetric relation says that if x y, in reflexive we are checking for the set A, in symmetric we are not checking for the set A, we are looking into your relation itself. That is the very important concept. In reflexive relation we are checking for the basic set, but in symmetric relation we are not checking for the basic set, we are checking only in the relation. If xy is element of R, then you must have yx element of R. For example, this is not a symmetric relation because 1 2 is not there, but this is a symmetric relation because 1 1 is there. Its symmetricity is what? 1 1. If 2 2 is there, 2 2 is also 2 2 symmetric relation is 2 2 itself. So that is why I am saying if xy element of R, if it is in relation, then only check for yx. If xy element of R, then yx must also be present in your relation. Okay, I hope you get an idea about that. Next one is transitive relation. In transitive relation also, you check only in your relation, don't check your in basic set relation. Here, if 1 3 element of R and 3 1 also element of R, then 1 1 must be element of R. That means 1 3 xy element of R, 3 1 yz element of R, then xz must also be the element of R. So here also if it is present only check it, otherwise not check it. For example, if it is not here, here we cannot establish any transitive relation because 1 1 2 2, here no transitivity is there, because for transitive relation to occur, y must be repeated. That is, y must be in B part also in A part. For example, consider your first relation, that is this. That is, here 1 is in A part, 3 is in B part. Yes. So again 3 comes in A part. So for you check in the order A, B. That is, A is 1, B is 3. Then again 3 must be coming in what? A part, and any number can be come here in the B part. So that must be that A Z, that is A, B must be in your relation. Okay, I will clear with one type example. 3 2 is here, then it will be more clear to you. So here 3 2 is there. So A is 1, B is 3, and again A is 3, B is 2. So it is in the form x equal to 1, y is equal to 3, z is equal to 2. So xy element of R, yz element of R, then what will it needed? It needed 1 2 element of R. If it is here, if it is not here 1 2, then it is not a transitive relation. If there is 1 2, it is a transitive relation. That is called what? Transitive relation. Okay. Okay, that's it about reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. We can look into our definition. That is, a relation in a set S is reflexive if x related to x comma x element of R, what we can write, that is x rx. I already said x comma x element of R can be written like this: x rx for every x in X. That is, for every x in set S, x rx must be there in your relation. Here you must consider the basic set. If for symmetric, you must check for what? Xy related to in S, then y x must be also in relation from the set S. That is, a relation R in S is symmetric for every xy. Every xy must be checked like that. Y R x must be there whenever x R y. That is, x comma y is there in your relation. Then you must check for y comma x. Next one, a relation R is transitive. Then what is the concept? X set must be there in your relation whenever x comma y and y comma x is in your relation. Next, very important concept, what you mean by equivalence relation. A relation is in equivalence if it is reflexive, transitive, and symmetric. That is, three condition is satisfied, then it is an equivalence relation. For example, you can write equivalence relation: A is equal to set 1 comma 2, R is equal to earlier our relation 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, comma 3 comma 3, comma we have set 1 comma 2. I'm writing a bigger example. You can check. Here itself it is an equivalence relation because here reflexivity is satisfied. Sorry, I didn't written here 3. It is reflexive, that is 1 1 2 2 3 3, and symmetric 1 1 is the it's a 1 1 x comma y, y x is also 1 1 2 2 3 3. Symmetric transitivity is not there, so it is also transitive. I have already said, if there is x comma y and y comma z, only check for x comma z, otherwise it is a transitive relation. If x comma y is there, y comma z is there, then you must need at x comma z. Otherwise, the relation is intransitive because 1 comma 1 is there, again 1 comma 1 is there, 1 1 is there. It is a transitive relation. Only if the condition is satisfied, check for that. If the condition is satisfied, if the corresponding order pair is not present, then it is not a transitive or symmetric relation. Otherwise, it is a symmetric or transitive relation. For example, if here 1 comma 2 is there, then you have to have 2 comma 1. Otherwise, if 1 comma 2 is not there, it is by default symmetric relations. Okay. Okay, this is a symmetry equivalence relation. Also, I am writing big example: 1 comma 2 there, 2 comma 1 is there. Also, 1 comma 3 is there, 3 comma 2 there, 2 is there. So 1 comma 2 is also there. This is an equivalence relation. Okay. By this, I hope you get a clear understanding about reflexive, transitive, symmetric, and equivalence relation. Equivalence relation means if it is reflexive, transitive, and symmetric, it is an equivalence relation. Okay. So we can move on to the next topic, that is equivalence classes. Very important topic. What you mean by equivalence classes? We can study with an example. I said I have a set A with 1, 2, 3. And I am having an equivalence relation set 1, 1 is there, 2, 2 is there, 3, 3 is there. Also 1, 2 the 1, 1 is the 2, 3 is the 2, 1 is the. So I am writing a relation. In my examples, I didn't write in the relation any with any specific rule. I for examples I have already written. When you check for 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, there might be a relation or might not be a relation. For example, I am only taking. So it cannot be right like that y is equal to x square. It can be written or not written. For examples, I am taking only raw examples corresponding to the concept I want to be delivered. I want to deliver to you. So corresponding to that, I am making example. So don't look into the relation as a rule, that is don't look into the ordered pairs, that is ordered pairs related. There has a relation, that is all are natural numbers, like that we can relate it, but I am not relating in your like that in your +2 classes, that y is equal to x square, like that I am taking row sets in the relation for corresponding to the or what I want to deliver. Like that I am taking the examples. Okay, so this is the, then I can write equivalence classes mean first it must be an equivalence relation. The relation must be equivalence. First we can check whether it is an 1, 1, 1 is the 2, 2 is the 3, 3 is the, it is reflexive. 1, 2 is the 2, 1 is the symmetric. 1, 3 is there, 2, 3 is there. It is 1, 3 is the, so 3, 1 is not there. Okay, 1 is the, 1 is not the. So better put it 2, 3 is the, 3, 2 is not the. So put it. Check for transitivity, also check for that. 1, 2 is there, 2, 3 is there, 1, 3 is there. Then again check for that. 1, 3 is there, 3, 1 is there, 1, 1 is there, 2, 3 is there, 3, 3 is there, 2, 3 is there, 2, 1 is there, 1, 1 is there, 2, 1 is also there. Okay, it is a equivalence relation. So equivalence classes means for a equivalence class, we must take a relation that is an equivalence relation. First condition, for equivalence classes, the R must be an equivalence relation. Then we take, if we are considering ordered pair A comma B, I'm considering ordered pair A comma B for R. For R, I am considering A comma B. First look into the writing I am doing. That is every element, that is 1, 1, that is A comma B. So here A is 1, B is also 1. Here 1, 3 is an element of R. So 1, 3, A is 1, B is what? 3. So I am considering the ordered pair A comma B for R, and R is an equivalence relation. Then I can make equivalence class such that CA, capital C, class. For class I am taking C. A means first element, that is first ordered pair, first set, that is first set elements are called A. A is equal to set of all B's. That means if I am considering C A as 2, then sorry, capital letter C A as 2. So in which all ordered pair A is coming as 2? Here. That is 2, 2 it's coming. So its B is equal to what? 2. In next 2 coming in set A ordered pair A, that is 2 comma 3. Here 2 is coming in the position of A. So write the B part 3. Next 2 is coming in the ordered pair 2 comma 1. So write the B part. Okay. You can write like that, or otherwise you can order it. Both are correct. No problem. Next I am considering likewise C as 1. It's as 1, A as 1. So what will be the elements again? 1 comma 2 comma 3 it will come, because 1 1 here A is 1, so B is 1, so I write 1 here. 1 2 A is 1, so corresponding B is written here. Then 1 3 A is 1, corresponding B is written here. So this type equivalence relation you can have also. Next, from this equivalence relation you can have equivalence classes, that is C3. So that also we get 1 comma 2 comma 3. Check it. That is 3 3 is the, so 3 is written in the B part. 3 1 is the, so 1 is written in the B part. 3 2 is the, 2 is written in the B part. So once again, I will say equivalence classes means a relation must be an equivalence relation. Then for every A, B, and A is related to B means A ordered pair A comma B must be in your relation. So take every A is equal to set of B's. That is an equivalence class. So for example, CA, that is equivalence class, CA is equal to set of B's, that is in such a way that A comma B are element of what equivalence relation are. Okay, so here we get three equivalence class, C2, C1 and C3. You take your lecture notes in for every video lectures, because the examples which is better you understand it and study it. That is sometimes in my notebook it must be a different example, and in lectures it must be a different example. So which all are better, you better take it and study it. Okay, every time when you are hearing the video lectures you must have a paper and pen with you. That is the best practice for a student to hear a lecture or a class. Okay, that is about equivalence classes. Okay, so we can see the definition. R be an equivalence relation on set S means main set if A is an element of S and CA means A is defined by B an element of S. That means A comma B is an element of S. That is A comma B is in my relation. Then you can write the CA is called an equivalence class containing A. In the previous example, we have considered C2, C3 and C1, and these three C's, that is C2, C1 and C3 are called equivalence classes. Okay, I hope you get a clear understanding about the topic. Very important topic, equivalence classes. You must understand it very thoroughly. Okay. The last topic, that is the closure of the relation. Very simple topic. That is Earlier we have considered a set, right? The main set from itself. Next, I will write 2 comma 2. Next, I will write 3 comma 3. So my relation is like this. So this is not reflexive because 3 comma 3 is not present here. You have already known, that is before I am saying, when I write the example, you have already in your mind that 3 comma 3 is not here, then it is not what reflexive. So what is the condition that is not satisfying it as a reflexive? That is, the ordered pair 3 3 is not there. So to become a reflexive relation, 3 3 ordered pair must be present. So that is its closure, that is R plus. Right? R plus means closure. Closure is represented as plus. In this closure, if we add 3 3, it becomes a reflexive relation. So reflexive closure is a relation that ordered pair is a relation in that it contains the ordered pair which makes the original relation a reflexive. Once again, I say, if in a relation there is some ordered pair missing, that prevents it by making reflexive relation, then reflexive closure relation contains that ordered pairs that is not present in the original relation. Okay. Once again, I will say, in the reflexive relation, the 3 3 is not there. So in the reflexive closure, it will contain 3 3. That is, in the reflexive closure, if 3 3 is containing, that is the relation that prevents the original relation not being a reflexive. So if R union R plus makes the original relation what reflexive. Okay. I think you have get an idea about it. Once again, I will say it's a very simple concept. If a relation has some element missing, that makes it not reflexive. So reflexive closure will contain that missing element. So the original relation union closure relation will make it what reflexive. Okay, that is reflexive closure. What do you mean by transitive closure? Sorry, transitive, not symmetric closure. Then we can move on to the symmetric. If 2 1 is there, it must have 1 2. But here 1 2 is not present. So it is not a symmetric relation. So in the transitive closure, it will have those elements that prevents the original relation not being asymmetric. What is the elements that not preventing the original relation from not being symmetric? That is 1 2. So that will be in the transitive closure. It is also symmetric closure. It is also represented as R plus. Okay. um, by simplicity, we can write it as symmetric closure S plus. It can also be written, but generally in mathematics, all closures are represented as R plus. Okay, whether it is reflexive, symmetric, or transitive. So, in reflexive, what is the ordered pair that prevent it from reflexive? That is in the reflexive closure. In symmetric closure, what all elements that prevents the original relation from not being symmetric? That is in the symmetric closure. Then what will be the transitive closure? Those elements that prevents the original relation not being transitive, it is in the transitive closure. For example, here 1 2, the comma 1 3 is the, then what will we have to have? That is 2 3 must have, 2 3 is to be in the relation. If 2 3 is not there, it is not transitive. So to make it transitive, we must add in the transitive closure what we must add 2 3. So any closure of the relation is the smallest ordered pair, smallest number of ordered pair that makes it reflexive or transitive or symmetric is the corresponding reflexive closure, transitive closure and symmetric closure. Okay, I think you get a clear understanding about it. In your notebook, I have written the definition of all the closure of relation, but in my PPT I have written only for the transitive relation, that is R be a relation in set S, then transitive closure of R is defined by what? R plus is the smallest transitive relation containing R, that is smallest relation that makes it transitive, or the smallest relation that make it reflexive, or smallest relation that makes it symmetric, that is the corresponding transitive closure, reflexive closure and symmetric closure. Okay, so that is about relation. These are the only concept you needed in the relation in the our subject, that is theory of computation. In maths you have studied vast topic, and beyond this topic there is so many concepts coming in the relations in the mathematics, but you need only this much of topic, so you understand what all the topics I have delivered today in through my videos. Clearly understand it and take your notebook, and along with your notebook you hear my videos and understand it thoroughly. We can see in the next video. Thank you.